Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving into building our very first HTTP client in the Node.js. Up to now we have created our simple server, right? So now in this video we'll try to create our HTTP client in the Node.js. So if you ever wonder how HTTP requests work under the hood or how to communicate with the server, so this video is for you. We will cover TCP connections, HTTP agents, requests, response, and headers like content length and transfer encoding. So these are all the things we'll try to work. By the end, you will have a solid understanding of the HTTP in Node.js. So let's get coding. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more tutorials like this. So don't forget to do that one. So let's try to create our simple client. So simple client means here the HTTP client means nothing but we have different clients, like a browser is one of the client only, and the postman is also one of the client only, which makes the HTTP request. In the similar way, through the Node.js coding also we can create our own client. So how we can create our own client, let's try to see. So normally before we start coding, let's talk about why this matters. So why HTTP client matters. An HTTP client is any program that sends request to a server. So like a web browser, postman, or a custom app. So same thing like that. So this one is also a program. Our client today will be written in Node.js, but it can be written in Java, Python, or anything that speaks HTTP. Because HTTP is a universal protocol that ensures all these tools can talk to any HTTP server. Like the simple server we will interact with today. The server runs on localhost port 8050, which we have seen it, and we will send it a post request with JSON data. We'll try to do it. So first of all, what I will try to do it is I will create a simple client.js file. So let us create a simple client.js file. So new file. So simple client.js file. So here in this simple client.js file, first we need to import the HTTP. HTTP is equal to required. So node HTTP. So this is the first one which I will be trying to do it. So the second one which we will be trying to do it is we need to create an agent. Okay. So now first one, this node HTTP, this gives us access to the HTTP tools. Next, what we will need to do it is we need to create an HTTP agent. This agent manages the underlying TCP connection that carries our HTTP request. So here is how we can set it up. So here first let's try to create an agent. Agent is nothing but we are trying to create a TCP connection. So here we are creating a TCP connection. New http.agent, and we will try to tell that it should be keep alive. So that means keep alive true. So that means this TCP connection should not be destroyed. It should be keep alive. So the keep alive true option ensures our TCP connection stays open for the multiple requests, which saves time compared to opening a new connection each time. Think of this agent as the pipe that carries our HTTP messages to the server, something like that. So let's try to create an HTTP request. So for creating the HTTP request, we will be using the http.request method to build an HTTP client request. This method takes an options object to define where and how to send the request. So let's try to create the request. So here you will be trying to do http.request. So here if you try to see, we are trying to cover all the methods like http.request, http.agent, and here also we have create http.create server. So these are all the different types of methods that are available in the HTTP module. So by the end of this HTTP session, you will be able to cover all the methods that are there in this HTTP module. So up to now, we have learned about three things. Agent means for creating a new TCP connection. Server means for creating a new server. And http.request means we are trying to make a request to a HTTP server. So when we are trying to make an HTTP to the request, so it will take an options object. So this we need to send the options object. So here first you need to mention the TCP to under which TCP it will be sending. So we will be writing the agent. So here the next one which you will be trying to do it is the host name. So host name or host anything. So host name, that is nothing but localhost. So the host name which we are trying to make it is the localhost, and the port which I want to connect is the 8050. That is our server, and the method which I would be trying to make it is the post request. Okay, and the path also, if you want you can mention the path also. So like create post. So I want to target the path create post, and the another one is the headers. So if you want to send the headers means you can send it, and the content type, the post data type which I would be trying to send it is the content type application/JSON. So the JSON data I will be trying to send it. So like this you can send these all the headers. So now we have sent this all the data. So now this is the request. Okay, so here if I try to explain you again, agent means we pass the agent we created to use our TCP connection. So this is our TCP connection, and we are telling that you need to make the HTTP request using this TCP connection. And the host name is localhost, since our server is local. For external servers, you would use a domain like example.com or something like that. And the port is nothing but our server runs in port 8050, not the default HTTP port 80. And the method. So we are using right now the post to send the data to the server. Other methods like get or put serves different purpose, which we will cover in another video, something like that. And the path, this is the URL path like create post. It tells the server what resource we are targeting. And the last one is the headers. We are setting content type to application/JSON, but because we are sending JSON data. So if you don't specify an agent, what will happen? Node creates one automatically, but defining it gives us control over the connection management. That's it. So now we need to write the data to the request. So our request object is a duplex stream. So now here, whatever the things you are getting is, it's a duplex stream. Okay. So now meaning that we can write data to it and we can read from it also. So get the server, let's send some JSON data to the server. So for sending the data, what you would be trying to do? So here you can send request.write of, so I would be sending as a string. So here JSON.stringify, okay, JSON.stringify of, so here I will send a simple message of hello there or something like this. I will be trying to send. That's it. So now you have sent a single message. So let's try to see this one. So what could be the output for this one? Or otherwise you can also send some other data also. Hello again. Okay. So if you want to send it again, you can send it hello. Are you still there? Something like this, you can send it. So you can go on send the data as it is the readable stream. So you can go on send the writable stream. So you can go on send the data. Duplex string. So we are using the JSON.stringify to convert JavaScript object into a JSON string. Each write sends a chunk of data to the server. This is great for streaming large data like videos or files because we can send it into pieces. To signal that we are done, we need to we need to call the request.end with an optional final chunk. If you don't send it, means it is still waiting for the data that it is trying to send some more data or not. So let's try to go here. So here in this one, I will be trying to do node simple server.js file. Okay. So as the server is listening, and here I would be trying to call node simple client.js file. So now here I have sent it. Let's see here. See here we are able to send the request method post has been made, and the URL is a create post, and the headers we are trying to send it is content type application/JSON. We have sent it, and we are able to get the data also. The data is as it is a readable stream. So the data is, we are getting it as a buffer. So if you want to convert it into a string means, so what you need to do here, you can add something like chunk.toString. That's it. Okay. Now let's go into our client again, and I will restart the node simple server.js file. Okay. Let's try to run this again. Clear it out. And I am running this one again, and now you will be able to see here the message, whatever the body I am trying to send it, everything has been received. But here still the body completed is not there. So here we can able to see that when the body is completed, so it needs to print body completed. It is not there. Why? Because in our previous video we have discussed that the end marker should be sent from the client to the server, so that the server can understand that okay, the body or the form data or the JSON data which you are trying to send it, the payload data which you are trying to send it has been finished. So we need to have an indicator. So that indicator is nothing but what you can do it is, so you can mention it as a request.end. That's it. So now if you try to send request.end, now you can able to understand. So here there is no need to restart the client, server. So let's try to run the client again. So here now you will be able to see the body completed. So now the server is sure that the body, whatever the body you are trying to send it, has been completed. So now I can process the request it is thinking. And here if you try to see the headers here, so we are able to see the content type application JSON, and this host connection keepAlive. This one is nothing but in the agent we have kept it as a keepAlive true. And here this one is very interesting. Transfer encoding is chunk. So that means the request data, the payload which we are trying to send it is nothing but it is a chunk. So that means it is coming as a streaming data. Sometimes when you are trying to send the request, if you know how much actual length is there, let's say that this is the only data. So if you know that how much length is there or something like that, so you can mention the content length. So content length, you can mention the content length, and you can mention it as in 16. So here 16 means it is a 16 bytes. So here 16 bytes means each one is 1 byte. So so here including this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Up to here, maybe it will be having. But here we don't know the exact body size, how much we are having. But we are telling that the total payload, request payload, what we are trying to send it is a 16 bytes we are saying. We are telling. Now if you try to check the output for this one, so what will happen? Let's go to the client here and I will restart the client. Here if you try to see the output, see here we are able to get only the 16. So this time the content length is 16 and we are not getting the transfer encoding to the chunk. We are not getting, we are getting a new header content length 16. So that means here you need to understand that if you are confirmed that the total length of the payload, if you are confirmed means, so you can send it like this. So that means the server will estimate that the total data you are sending it in one chunk only and the total byte size is 16 bytes. It can think of like this. So for example, if you know this one, so let's say that you can know this one means, so instead of sending this request dot write and you know this is the this is the total payload, you can mention it like the request dot end also. In this end also you can send the final chunk. And here you can mention the buffer. Now so we know that this total thing, so you can, as this is all transferred in a buffer only, so we in the buffer we have a method that is nothing but byte length, and you can mention this json dot stringify of, and you can mention this one. At the last you need to mention the buffer encoding also, that is nothing but utf-8. That's it. Now this one will take care, and exactly that byte length only it will be transferred. So now here if you try to restart the client again, that's it. Now if you try to see the output, see here the content length is 26 and the exact json data we are able to get it. So this is how you can able to do it. So right now I will stick with the transfer encoding chunked only. So why? Because so we will try to do it like that only, but I am trying to explain you the difference between content length and also the transfer encoding. And at the last, if you want to send the last response means, you can mention it as an end, and sorry, you can mention it as an end, and in this end also, so you can send the data like this. You can send the data. So this is how you will be sending a request using the Node.js HTTP client. So in the next step, what we need to do it is we have sent successfully the request. Now it's time for the server to send the response, right? So here I will stop this and I am sending it again. Now here we are able to get the transfer encoding chunk, and we are able to get the payload also. Now it's server responsibility to send the response, and we need to capture that response. In the next video, we will try to see how we can send the response from the server and how we can capture it in the client also. We'll try to see. Hope you understood about this concept. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you.